Hello, everybody. We just wanted to give you a video to give some instructions on winter break. So the apartments and the residence halls will be inaccessible during winter break. Apartments will be key blocked, meaning keys won't work to open them up. And in the residence halls, the scanners to get in the doors will be shut down. This will be from 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 24th until 2 p.m. Tuesday, January 12th. Sometimes people ask if they need to leave their keys behind, but you don't. Hang on to those, and you'll bring them back with you in the spring if you're returning. If you need to urgently get into your room for any reason over break, you can call campus safety, but there is a fee of $20. Make sure that when you go over your tasks with your apartment or your roommates, that you divide them up evenly, and we'll take a look at those in a second. There's also a fine for each task that isn't claimed or completed. We know quarantine has made that a little different, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. In apartments, we ask that all the areas be vacuumed, that trash and recycling is taken out, that all the electronics, except for the refrigerator, are unplugged, that the items in the kitchen are cleaned, and that the bathrooms are cleaned carefully. So make sure to unplug those electronics, lock the windows and close your blinds, and leave the heat at 65 degrees. And then initial, when you've checked that all of your items are completed, and sign your name and put the date and time when you leave. We know some of that might be next week on a Saturday or Tuesday, so just make sure to take a moment to look over that, make sure you've completed everything, and then let us know that you've headed on your way home. When it comes to sharing responsibilities, it's helpful to have a quick meeting just to go over who will cover what. For those of you who have already left for quarantine, we gave you some cleaning instructions on how to clean your room. But for the other items, then those will need to be divided between the individuals remaining. So for those who are still there, please divvy up the responsibilities for the common areas. The person who signed up for a task will be fined if an item is not completed at the time of our walkthroughs, which is Tuesday night, November 24th. So if you do a task and then leave early and your roommate stays, please work with them so that they keep that area clean. And then roommates, please respect each other by not trashing areas that have already been cleaned by your fellows after they leave. Refrigerators, including personal fridges, will be checked for cleanliness and perishable items at this time. When cleaning up trash, please clean up all trash in front of your room or apartment and take off any expired flyers from your door and take them to the dumpsters. If you're inside an area like a res hall, don't just put them in the community trash, but go ahead and take them all the way outside. Otherwise, it'll fill up way too much. And then if you have an empty bed in your room, make sure that the side of your room that empty bed is on is free for a potential roommate, unless you have been approved for a single room, the requests for which are due today by the end of the day, midnight. So if you need to put in a single room request, pay attention to any of our emails that we've sent out about that. Some other things that are due today are room change requests and winter break housing requests. So those are due by midnight tonight. Only approved students who are approved for winter break housing will be permitted to stay past 6 p.m. on November 24th. And you should get a confirmation next week on if you're approved to stay or not, as well with room changes and single room requests. We'll be going through all of those and working with you on the timing for that next week, so that's all set before Tuesday, the 24th. The rates for break housing are billed as consecutive days from the first to the last date listed on the form, even if you don't stay in your room every single day. If there's some sort of circumstance, such as you're staying 1 week after Christmas break, and then you're coming 1 week early in January, and you're gone for all those intervening weeks, let us know about that. The changing room forms is available on THD self-service. It's on the left-hand side of the screen. You can find it there. And then you'll be getting some communications about that. Those take a little minute to work out because we have to communicate with all parties involved. You may want to move in with somebody, but they may not be as keen on the idea. So there just needs to be some conversations about those, which are facilitated by your current and future resident director. Work with your future roommate to find the best time to move your items over. And then make sure that you clean your old room before you leave for winter break. Based on timing for some of these room changes, they may need to occur on the last couple of days of finals. So make sure you stick around for those if able. Obviously, quarantine would supersede that. For anyone not returning to housing in the spring, we're sad to see you go. but a few steps before you leave, you'll need to check out of your room with your RA, remove all items, and leave your key. There's a fine for keys that are not returned. So you're going to want to make sure to do that. During the RA walkthroughs, they won't just assess the cleaning that was done, but they'll also look at the room condition reports to see, hey, are there any holes in the walls or are things really stained, stuff like that. If you're in quarantine during the next few weeks, if you enter into that, you'll receive instructions if you're supposed to move out of your room to make sure that that happens at the start date of your quarantine, since you won't be coming back during the next couple of weeks. Those are our items regarding close downs. Make sure to keep an eye out for any more announcements or instructions for us moving forward. Thanks.